What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie News, your only podcast for all your movie news, movie reviews, and more. So, this is episode 27. We are joined with our co host, the Grumpy, the Art House, the one and the only Lawson. Yeah,
My titles increase.
yeah, it really depends on my mood, how I want to introduce you.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They're both things that I always like. No grumpy. I'm not art house.
And you bite every time as well.
I know. It's fucking insane. After so long, so many years, it's still I can't believe like on stream the other night when you guys were bugging me and I was like, I'm not grumpy. And then straight away, a minute later, you were like, oh, grumpy. And I knew it was just to make me bite. And yet I'm sitting there like biting my tongue.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you did make us play a puzzle game and you knew that was not going to end
It
well.
was Damo's idea. I didn't really know. I mean, I sort of knew it was a puzzle game, but I didn't actually think about the cooperation necessary and your inclination to just torture us.
Oh, yeah, you give me any chance and that's what's happening.
Yep,
But
definitely
yeah,
happened. It's good
we've got
fun.
a yeah, I had a good time. And you got over your feelings. But
I always do.
yeah. So we've got a bit of a interesting lineup for you today. We've got some dealing with a little bit of romance. We got a little bit of end of the world, bit of twists, bit of turns, and we've also
Mm,
got actual dealing with your feelings, which is
yeah,
yeah, an
tell
interesting
me how you
lineup.
feel.
It's not normally our current sort of lineups. We've had a bit of this, bit of that. We like to bring you and keep you on your toes as well.
Hmm,
Hmm. But
diversity.
yeah, if you also like movie talks and you want to spend another hour and a half with us, we have another podcast as well called You Nerd It Here First. If you want all your nerd news, that's also on Spotify, on the YouTube, etc. So check that out. So that's us bringing you a different topic each week. Each of us bring it
Yeah,
in, and we'll just tell you about it. But
just a
without,
bit of random stuff. Last week was I've introduced movies twice
Mhm.
because it's what I do. But yeah, we do like books and movies and talked about Nintendo Direct last week and also just a general conversation about the AI and whatever else is happening in our world right now. So yeah, it's a variety show for sure.
Yeah, and we also have nerd news, unlike
Nerd
our
news. We went for too
our
long.
movie news. It went for way too long. Funny, but
We're still
anyway,
getting used to the format. But anyway, yeah.
yeah. Lawson, give us our intro to movie news.
Do movie news.
Ooh, nice. It was nice and short.
Crisp.
Also, yeah, crispy on a Saturday morning. We've got
Sure.
new John Wick Chapter 4 trailer sees
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves back in the desert. I gotta say, I only saw John Wick 1. I haven't seen 2 or 3.
I've seen one and two. And two was fine.
Did he go in the
Like,
desert?
no, he didn't. He killed a
Okay,
guy with a pencil.
must be 3
Wait, was
because
the pencil one the first movie? Does he kill a guy with a pencil in the first movie?
no, no, it's been a long time. I remember he killed lots of people.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's not my kind of thing. I mean, he's interesting and Keanu's impressive, but I don't find them entertaining.
Yeah. He also trains pretty like he's a reasonably well trained martial artist, which is pretty cool as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
not
Also,
interested.
okay, okay. Oh yeah, the rules.
The
Well,
rules that I never
yeah.
stick to.
Well, sometimes I forget. But
Yeah.
live action How to Train Your Dragon movie in the works.
Oh,
Mm.
interesting.
I really
I'm
like
not
that
against that.
franchise.
Yeah, that's
Like
kind of cool.
those movies are good. The first one is pretty much textbook. Like if you were going to
Oh
teach how to
yeah.
make a movie, that
Hmm.
is by the book. Same as Little Miss Sunshine as well. If you've
Yeah.
ever done a film degree, Little Miss
Yep.
Sunshine is pretty much by the book, and
Hmm.
you reference that a lot. But yeah,
Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon. I didn't watch till real late, and the first time I ever watched it was in class once because it was like end of the year, and kids are like, "Let's watch this How to Train Your Dragon." So yeah, and I got to admit, like a few of the moments got me a little welled up. Like I'm an emotional guy, we know. I cried a lot of movies and stuff, but for the moments I was like, yeah, getting so excited. I was in the class like, oh, control your emotions.
Yeah.
They do it well. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do real well. Also, there is a new Little Mermaid teaser debuts Ursula and Prince Eric
Live action?
live action.
Okay. Live action Ursula. Oh my god. Oh, I
Mm.
hope it's Jennifer Coolidge. She's doing everything at the moment.
Do you reckon it will be?
Oh, it should be fantastic. It probably won't be. It's probably not like the exact role, but man, I would find her amazing in
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
it. Picture her singing and shit. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a fun image. Cool. That's interesting. I'm not against it. I think Disney need to calm down with the live action remakes, but I
Yeah.
mean, they're still well made.
Did you see Disney looking are open to selling off Hulu, which means the Stars stuff would, if they sold it, would go off a Disney platform.
Oh, what? I
Yeah.
like all that stuff. That's sort of what like Disney is becoming more and more. When it first came out, and it was just like classic Disney stuff and Marvel. When it first came out, it was like, yeah. But now that it's got Stars and all the Hulu stuff, and there's so much to watch on there. It's a really good
Yeah.
platform. That sucks.
Well, they're open to it. I highly doubt they'd sell it for a small fee.
But hopefully, if they sell it for a big fee, I mean, who's going to afford it?
Yeah.
Hopefully, it would be another streaming service, but
The only
hopefully
one
not
would
Amazon.
be Netflix, wouldn't it? That'd probably be the only other one that would, and they're dying
I
anyway.
wouldn't surprise me if
So
Amazon did.
yeah.
Amazon or Apple TV, they've got good money.
Apple TV don't seem interested. They just seem to sell your products and
Do their own
produce
thing.
their own stuff.
Hmm.
So who knows?
Hmm.
But we've got our
That
first
sucks.
look as Lady Gaga in the new Joker. Lady Gaga
Lady
has,
Gaga is in the new Joker.
yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that. As
yeah.
what?
Um, I
Let me
want
look it
to,
up because I
I
know
want
you won't.
to, I want to go out on a limb and say
Harley Quinn,
potentially, yeah,
like an older Harley Quinn.
maybe,
Yeah, as Harley Quinn in Joker
yeah,
2. No shit. Okay, I fucking love her.
yeah. She surprised me in the was it the one with Bradley Cooper, Star is Born or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Mm,
Her in American Horror Story is my favorite character in the entire series.
okay,
Um, yeah, she's fucking talented. She brings a weird energy to, like a unique energy to a lot of roles.
yeah,
She's fucking powerful. Like, yep, I'm all about it. That's cool.
yeah.
Interesting.
I know you're not overly that interested, but the old new Ant-Man film is out,
Okay.
and apparently,
Third one?
yeah, it's not doing well. I hate Ant-Man. I reckon he's the worst hero.
Oh, really? I've actually
Yeah,
seen the first Ant-Man, so I wanted to see if it was shit.
it
It
was.
wasn't terrible. Oh, was
No,
it? Oh,
wasn't
okay.
good. I don't like Ant-Man,
I mean, it
so
just felt like every other Marvel film to me.
yeah. But Kevin Feige talks plans for the next Spider-Man film and more.
No.
So
Yeah,
he's
that's see
talking
that I don't care about at all.
more Spider-Man. I'm all for more Spider-Man. Just get rid of Tom Holland, and then we're all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't. I can't anymore. I tried the first new Spider-Man. I forget which home one it what was.
Homecoming.
Um, maybe whatever the first one is with like the the eagle guy.
Oh, Vulture.
That's the only thing I remember. Vulture, sure.
Yeah.
And I was so bored. And I also
Yeah.
didn't understand. Like they were making references to the Avengers and stuff, and I'm like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fair. I mean, you
so yeah,
kind of got,
I'll stick to the old Sam Raimi's on repeat. Thank you.
yeah, you got kind of got to commit to the Marvel franchises to really get everything out of it.
No, I'm way too disconnected to it now. It's a proper journey. It's work to get into it now. So
Yeah, fair.
not interested.
Fair. All right. Let's move on
Moving on.
to our feature number one. Your
Hmm.
Place or Mine, Netflix's newest. I guess they just released it before Valentine's Day, but it was
Yeah,
a well-timed release, and it's
definitely.
starring Witherspoon and also
Without a
Ash,
spoon.
yeah, and Ashton Kutcher. Did you see
Yeah.
they made the tabloids, and during an interview they were like, do you and Reese even like each other? And he's like, well, if we're, because they were standing on the red carpet, like advertising the film,
Mm.
and they were like, he had his hands in their pockets and they were like sort of standing together, but like it looked slightly awkward. And
Yeah,
he's like,
okay.
what do you want from me? If I had my like arm around her, you'd be all about us having an affair. But
Yep.
now that we're standing next to each other, we're really good friends.
No
And
shit.
he's like, well, I can't win either way, so I prefer the rumors of not cheating on my wife. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fucking love Ashton Kutcher. This is one of his first movies back into acting. He took a huge hiatus and was working in like child trafficking, and he's been in court testifying, and I've seen like I don't know all the ins and outs, and I'm probably getting some. If I start trying to tell stories and whatever I've seen, then I'm probably gonna get things wrong. But he's been he just didn't do acting for a long time and has become this like political figure fighting for all these amazing things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, he speaks out, and that interview what you just talked about just then, I haven't seen, but I can totally picture it because he would just be like, "What do I? There's no right here. You're gonna pick at me regardless,"
yeah,
and he'll say it in a light-hearted way, but he's making a fucking good point.
yeah. So I don't know. I just saw that
Mm,
recently, like yesterday or something. But
love
let's
him.
go. We'll go into the film. So,
Yeah.
two long distance best friends change each other's lives when she decides to pursue a lifelong dream, and he volunteers to keep an eye on her teenage son.
Mhm.
So, probably more than half the film is these guys are not on on scene together, like not
No,
on set together. So it's told
no.
the first part of the film is they have a one night stand, and then like very predictable storyline. If you've seen any rom com, like they're going to end up
Yep.
together, but
Yep.
they have a one night stand. They end up harboring their feelings and you know secretly loving each other, but no one is brave enough to admit it. And then they keep in contact through FaceTime. I feel like ringing people FaceTime is really awkward. Like I
Yeah.
don't
Hey, I would never answer a FaceTime call. Are you fucking kidding?
like I don't know how people do it. And also
Nah.
he's laying in bed with, I'm assuming his kind of partner. Like it's never really
Hmm.
explored if he actually they're together or not. But
Hmm.
like just in bed and he's ringing her on FaceTime. Like the whole thing's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, it
But
was weird.
yeah,
Also, not like it was a weird way to introduce the dynamic, but I guess that maybe might have been the point, like to be like, what's happening here?
yeah,
I also hate when if you're gonna have two characters on the phone to each other, how about you get two cameras and put the actors in two separate locations and actually get them to call each other and have a real conversation on the phone because you can tell that they're not filmed at the same time. I think it's why not do it the right way? Why not make it fucking realistic? Anyway,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's a fair point. I'm not sure. Would there be a delay or anything like that? Shouldn't be, would there?
but if there is,
Uh,
that's a real phone call.
yeah, I don't know. I
Nah.
found the first half of this film really awkward where they were setting up her wanting to pursue. I don't even know what her degree was. Like,
Yeah, I don't
was it ever
understand.
stated? Like, it was never really explored. Like, she needs to finish her course, but they never said what her course was. Like, it's
I think it was something to
very,
do with with maths or something because it wasn't anything to do with her writing. But look, if I'm honest, and I'll start now by saying I definitely tune in and out with this.
oh yeah, it's not overly exciting. The only really redeemable part was I found Ashton Kutcher and the son, like the sort of
Yeah,
their
Jack.
relation was really cool. So
Hmm.
Ashton volunteers to go and help Reese Witherspoon's character out, which Debbie goes goes out, helps and looks after the son while she goes for a week to do her course. And
Hmm.
it's really he's very nurtured, like she's a very helicopter parent with all the
Yeah,
sticky notes. He's got lots of allergies, and she just doesn't want
doesn't
him
let him
to,
play sport.
yeah, doesn't go out. He struggles to make friends because he can't do sport and he's a bit of a loner. And I quite liked character development of Jack sort of
Hmm.
coming out of
Yeah.
his shell and allow Ashton Kutcher's character really helping to develop that. Besides that, there wasn't
Hmm.
that much going for this film. Like there wasn't a heap of chemistry. Like I knew they were going to end up together, but I was like, there's not that sort of chemistry between the two where you kind of like really rooting for the characters to get
No,
together.
no,
And
not at all. In fact, I think this movie, I was gonna say this till the end, but I'll say this now. I think this movie would have been, and then when I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be something different. This is going to be something fresh where they don't end up together because I saw her dating, what was his name in the actual movie?
the Theo,
Theo. Um, I saw her dating Theo in the trailer, and then you see Ashton have a conversation with some other character. I forget, it doesn't matter where, who, or whatever. But anyway, I was like, oh, cool. This is going to be a story about these people who we think are going to get together, and then in the end they're not, and it's going to be even happier because their friendship is all they need, and they have a new relationship with this new person who's wonderful, ticks all the right boxes, and they can still keep their friendship. That's what I thought it was going to be, or that's what at least I was hopeful for. And then by the end of the trailer, it's, oh, I've got to tell her how I feel. Oh, but what if she doesn't feel the same way and we ruin our friendship? And it became just another fucking vanilla bullshit romance story. And I'm so disappointed. I love Reese Witherspoon and I love Ashton Kutcher. I love their history, not history together, but their, you know, a lot of the movies they've been in. But this was such just a stupid nothing movie.
yeah, had a couple of laughs here and there, like the Zen bloke who's the guy
Yeah.
that's randomly
Steve Zahn, man, he's funny as.
like he's randomly rich enough that he hires his
Hmm.
own gardener to do his house
Hmm.
while he just randomly hangs out in Debbie's yard doing her gardening.
Yeah, which
Like
we find out is also because he wants to land
he's
Debbie.
yeah, he's in love with Debbie.
Hmm.
And then you've got the other mum and friend of Peter, like was it Alice or Alicia or however you say her name,
Oh,
where
Tignataro. Yeah,
yeah, and she's just randomly always got a coffee and she's just
she was
there and
so
awkward.
funny. Yeah, she was so funny though. She was like her. I found her dry comedy really, really good. But even like you said, the relationship, because both of them basically get a friend that they, you know, can bounce off of, whatever. So Reese Witherspoon makes friends with one of Ashton Kutcher's ex-girlfriends, Minka, who's a millennial, and she's all almost like a local celeb. Um, and their energy is really fun watching this like middle-aged woman deal with this millennial who's reaching that middle-age point, almost like early midlife crisis. Um, and yeah, those relationships I found more fun
Yeah.
than yeah Reese and Ashton.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was the long distance thing or what it was, but just for if you're
Hmm.
gonna have a rom com, you got to be rooting for the characters. Like I've
Yeah.
seen Ashton Kutcher in was it No Strings Attached with Natalie Portman. Like I really enjoyed that film, and
Okay.
it's like the chemistry between those two. Like you do end up rooting for the characters to get together. Where it's missing that entire point. Like if you're gonna watch a rom com, you want to be rooting for the characters to get together, but it
Sure. Yeah, I haven't
misses
seen
that
that, but yeah,
completely.
definitely, I agree.
So
Even like shitty fucking rom coms like She's the Man,
oh
which
wow.
I have a bit of a guilty pleasure with. Um, that by the end, you actually want fucking Channing Tatum and Amanda Bynes' characters to be together.
Yeah.
Like you actually kind of do because they have formed such a fun friendship. Where yeah, in this you don't really see the friendship develop. The characters don't really develop. They just both have a realization. I think that's very different.
Yeah. Also the phone calls are really awkward. Like I feel
Yeah,
like that
because they're not talking to each other.
they also needed to switch the left and right panels because it felt awkward. Like
Yeah.
they were staring off in the opposite directions. Like they were both
Yes.
looking out of the screen. Like if it looks like they're actually talking together,
Yes.
it would have been, I don't know, more personable rather
I know
than
we teach the 180 rule. Like I know that you know you don't have to follow it, and that good directors know when to break it and whatever else. But that didn't feel like the time to break it. But then again, I'm not a fucking millionaire director. Really
yeah.
quick, while we're talking about cinematography though, there were some really beautiful shots.
Mm.
and I had to go look up the cinematographer, and yeah, he has a catalog, like not a huge one, but he's done things like Allegiant,
Okay.
Insurgent, um, some other things. Devil Wears Prada, some Sex in the City. Like he's been around for a while
Okay.
and done a lot of stuff. Um, so yeah, there were definitely some shots. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of nice, but
Yeah.
not like enough to make it interesting to watch.
No. What would you give it then?
Um, oh, I've definitely got more to say.
Oh, you got more on this.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
noticed
Right.
a trend in me that the shitter it is, the more I
All
got
right.
to write. The more boring it is, the less I write.
Here we go.
Um,
Lawson
it felt
rants.
like in Lawson Rants, it felt like a movie from 2002. It even at the end in the denouement, we got the fucking text on screen instead
Yeah.
of even not even narration. We had like Legally Blonde style text on screen coming up. Jesus Christ, I thought we were way past that. That was like 20 years ago. The kiss legitimately made me roll my eyes. I was so so done by then, and they
Oh,
make it
that
to be.
and the pan out and just everyone
Mm-hmm.
walking past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the random
Real shit.
conversation
Surprised it
on
wasn't
the
raining.
the conversation was all good when they're on the escalators. Why not get off the escalators? Have your shouting
I
match.
know.
Like it
And
was
the
just
escalators were really small. When we saw the long shot, they're really small. But when they were talking and we are just getting like the medium close or medium shots, they were so far apart, screaming at each other. Then we see the long shot next, and the travelators are like 10 meters long. Yeah, there was just a lot of really, really shitty, gross moments where they thought they were being so clever. And the one that I wrote down um was there's a moment where the kid goes, um, you look like you just felt an earthquake. And Ashton Kutcher's
oh,
character's
that's
like,
right.
oh my God, earthquakes. Oh, he has his realization because it's like the reason I moved away was because of earthquakes. It was actually because of her. And they play this little like leitmotif in the background that we're meant to be like, oh, he's just figured it out. But it's fucking shit. It's so gross, so shameless, and I'm mad at it. Very mad. It was a one,
I also
or even
don't
a
know.
half a star.
I don't understand the whole scared of earthquakes. Like it was bizarre. Like why is
That was
that
his
even a thing?
excuse. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
just just be like, yo, I moved because of my job.
No
Like,
shit.
just we don't need an
I know,
earthquake
legit. If
excuse.
I wanted to move away because I didn't want to be friends with you anymore, I I would not be like, oh, I'm scared of earthquakes. I'm scared of the water. Oh
Yes.
yeah, I got a new fucking job. Like it's got to move. Why not? Like I
Yeah.
would just make it realistic.
It's
Yeah,
so odd.
it was
But
weird. It
yeah,
was dumb. I got
I
mad.
yeah, I do agree. It's definitely a one. Like you cannot recommend this film. I was kind of
Mm-mm.
hoping it would be good because I
Mm,
don't know, good actors, but
yeah.
they don't. And Ashton Kutcher's got a good running history with like rom
Yes.
coms. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, like that
He
was.
can play some really fun characters.
What was the
Like,
one? Him and Cameron Diaz. Something in
oh yeah,
Vegas.
the one where they fight over the money.
Yeah,
Um,
like
yeah, I
he
forget what that is.
like that. That's a very fun film.
Yeah, definitely. He's way more charismatic in that. What
Yeah,
happens in Vegas?
that's the one. And you know, it's something in Vegas.
But even like that 70s show, like Kelso has so much personality. Like, yeah, he's a stereotypical dumb jock, but he's also really fun.
Yeah. So yeah, don't go out and see that one. Go
Mhm.
watch something else. There's Friends with Benefits as well, which is Mia Kunis and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Timberlake. Yeah, that's on Netflix as well. Watch that over this. That one's more entertaining.
Yeah. I'd say that's better, but there are way better rom-coms out there.
There is. I know it's on Netflix currently. So
Sure. Yeah. And that's a very similar vein, but probably done better than this.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Emilia Kunis is amazing.
yeah. Let's move on to M. Night Shyamalan. Did he hit or
Mm-hmm.
did he miss?
Yes.
We will let you.
Next.
All right. All right. All right. I was going to build a little bit of suspense, but sure.
No. He didn't.
Oh no, he didn't. So this is Knock at the Cabin, where while vacationing, a girl and her parents are taken hostage by armed strangers who demand that the family make a choice to avert the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
So the trailer definitely runs into Suicide Squad territory here. So I was kind of excited for the film. It looked interesting. It's got David Batista. I can never say
Batista.
names. Batista. He kind of sounds like a barista. It's got Rupert Grint, which is Ron from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know. Poor
Yeah,
guy. He's never. All I can see is Ron. When I look at him, I just see an old Ron.
yeah, but he hasn't
Poor
done
guy.
as much. Like even Daniel Radcliffe, like
Hmm.
he has moved a bit away from the whole Harry
Definitely.
Potter stuff. I think it just
Hmm.
takes a number of films. Like it's going to take you a number of things. But
Yeah, he's done
yeah,
enough. You're right. Nothing big anyway.
no, I think he's done a couple of sitcoms and stuff here and there, but nothing to
Mm.
really get him away. I think this would be his first movie appearance since the Harry Potters. Well, I don't know. I can
No,
look it up
surely
later.
not.
Maybe. Don't know. Don't care enough either.
Anyway.
So this is meant to be a horror mystery thriller, and I think it misses on all three accounts. So
Yep.
yeah. So there is
Pretty
a
horrible.
yeah, there is and Eric and Andrew
Hmm.
have and their daughter Wen
Hmm.
vacationing in this cabin where all of a sudden, lo and behold, where it's a little bit on the nose, there's a knock at the cabin door.
Yep.
And yeah, this is where it all kicks off. They essentially get a knock on the cabin, and then four people come in, which this is meant to be like a thriller, but it's pretty much to the point where these are meant to be the four apocalypse. What are they? Horsemen? Was
Yeah.
it the four apocalyptic horsemen or whatever it is? I know
Four
my.
horsemen of the apocalypse.
That's
Yep.
it. Yeah, I was close. I had the words but wrong order.
Yep.
Yep. So they come in and they essentially are saying that they have to make a choice. They need to kill one of the three, so either the two parents or well, one of the two parents or the daughter, and they
Hmm.
have to decide, and then they have to kill one of the other people to make or stop the apocalypse. And
Yep. They have to decide between, and the rules they set up were the three of you have to decide who dies.
I thought they had to kill them too.
Yes.
Mm,
You have to kill them and they can't kill themselves. But
yeah.
the rules that they said were all three of you have to decide, and I'll get to that point later. But all three of you have to decide who dies, is what they said. I
Oh,
went back and checked that rule
okay.
because
All
I'm
right.
like, this is stupid. Anyway,
All right. Within
continue.
within the first 30 minutes, I lost massive interest in this. Like I was sort of zoning in and out, and I didn't really care.
Yep.
The whole story's based in the cabin,
Hmm.
and for what, an hour and 40 minutes. That's a long time to not have
Yeah.
much happen.
Yep.
Like it it didn't have many twists and turns. Normally
No.
old Shyamalan's got like a big twist at the end, which is either kind of good or pretty much
Yeah.
average. But
Exactly. I thought that's something because they set up right in the beginning. They set up there's two options here. Either this is real, this is a real apocalypse, and these two people, three people need to decide who dies, or these four people are playing a murderous prank and are lying to you and playing you footage on the TV to lie to you to tell you that there is an apocalypse coming.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, cool. They're the two obvious options. M. Night's going to throw something else at us, but the stakes never change. The story becomes this repetitive, mundane back and forth of have you decided who you're going to kill yet? We aren't going to kill anyone. Okay, well, then we have to sacrifice someone. And then it's bullshit. Don't listen to them. And then, oh, have you decided yet? And then we aren't doing this. And then sacrifice time. And it just goes again and again and again. Nothing changed from the 30-minute mark to the hour and a half mark. Nothing adapted. Nothing
no.
evolved in the story. It was so adapted is the wrong word. Nothing evolved in the story. Um, yeah, was so bored. So bored.
Yeah. And normally like what's his name, Batista. He's not really
Mhm.
charismatic and like interesting on
Mhm.
screen, but he was just there.
Different
Like,
role. Yeah.
yeah, like he
I
was.
actually liked his performance though.
Yeah, I thought he was boring because nothing happened. Like he was literally there. I want him to be a little bit more menacing. Like if you're there and you're trying to convince these people to stop the apocalypse, like
Mhm.
rather than being, you guys need to choose. Like, wouldn't you be a little bit more of a fanatic in terms of, you know?
Rupert's Grint character was. He was
Yeah,
like,
but he
these fucking
died.
people need to, they're never gonna decide. We're fucked, we're doomed. Like he was just mad. Whereas Batista was like, I need to stay level headed. There's a point where he starts yelling. It's like, I know I can't yell. I need to stay level headed here. I'm sorry. Like, I like that. I like that he was this gentle giant in a
Mm.
way. Or like he
Oh,
was at least, maybe he wasn't gentle, but in this situation, he knew he had to stay calm.
yeah, I don't know. I wanted a little bit more of a intimidating presence. So, like, you're there to stop the apocalypse, if that's what you,
Mm-hmm.
so if that's what you believe. Like, you would be more assertive rather than like that calm, level-headed. There's got to be that a little bit more of a urgency to him.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think
Yeah,
that
I don't know.
um that wasn't the character that was written for him.
No, that's what I wanted though, because I
Yeah,
feel like that would have been more, I guess, higher stakes. And hey, you need to decide who to kill.
yeah, because you're right. Like even when they get free, because they make it very clear initially that these four people, the four horsemen, they don't want to hurt Eric or Andy or Wen. They are just there to make them choose. So then later when oh my god, the fucking escape sequence, they are so shit at escaping. Nothing they do makes sense. But when Eric and Andy or Andrew finally get themselves free and there's a scuffle and whatever, there's no threat. And that's partly what you're saying. Like, I knew that Dave Batista, even though he has this huge weight and strength advantage, I knew that he wouldn't actually hurt these people. Like, even though at one point a gun comes into play and they're pointing at each other and whatever, um, no one gets shot. One person has like a leg injury, one person has a head injury because accident.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no threat besides the apocalypse, which we at that point didn't know if it was real or not.
Yeah.
So leaving us confused. I wrote my notes. Um, Confusion is not the same as mystery. Mystery is giving us little drip feeds of information so that we start to piece things together and build our own story and then be either proven right or proven wrong with a new twist. Just giving us two options and then giving us no more information besides answers to that could fit either option because everything they gave us, like all the apocalypse stuff we saw on the TV, could still fit either option.
Mhm.
That's not good writing. It's really fucking boring.
Yeah. Which I don't know. Shyamalan actually was involved in the writing of the script as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And
So
no one says no to him. But I understand.
yeah, wouldn't your track record be like, yo, you've missed so many films since?
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that well, he did Sixth Sense as well, didn't he? Sixth Sense,
Sixth
and
Sense.
then
Sixth Sense is a really good movie, and that's always what I refer back to. With like, he knew what he was doing there. There are interviews with him talking about his decisions, and he's like a really clever filmmaker in that. How does he keep making so much shit?
yeah, Sixth Sense. I didn't mind Signs besides the water thing. I know we've spoken about it before, but I still quite
Yeah,
liked it. Oh,
I'd still
Split,
say yeah. Signs was better than a lot of other stuff that he's done.
Split. I didn't mind Split. That was kind of interesting. The
Mm,
guy that has all the different personalities.
yeah,
It was better than most of his other stuff. The Last Airbender. Oh,
don't even talk
mate.
about it. The Happening. If you've seen The Happening,
Oh, the
it's
happening. That's
Mark
shocking.
Wahlberg. It's so bad. I can't believe how many like memes have come out of that with Mark Wahlberg's acting and some of the ridiculous plot points that M Night's. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
It's,
watch Glass.
I haven't
The
seen
Visit.
Glass yet.
Have
No,
you
I haven't
seen
seen.
or heard of The Visit?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's pretty much a Goosebumps book. It's these two kids who go and spend time with their grandparents, and then spoiler alert twist. I mean, it's obvious as fuck even from the trailer. the twist is that the grandparents aren't actually their grandparents, and there's some like hillbillies, but they're also like kind of possessed.
Huh?
Um,
How
yeah,
does
it's
how do the
really
parents be
shit.
like, hey, go to your grandmother's house?
Yeah, that's what they do. The mum, because she's a single mum, she's gonna go on a cruise with some new
Huh?
boyfriend or something, and she sends the kids to the grandparents' house. And then the kids are there, but they're always on FaceTime talking, but they never see the grandparents in the background. And then later on, the kids are like having a conversation with the mom, and mom can see in the back, and she's like, "That wait, kids, I'm sorry, that's not your grandparents." It's this
Huh?
whole thing, but it's so shit. It's meant to be like a found footage at
Yeah,
times.
yeah. Sounds better than
Actually,
this film.
the whole way through. Yeah, oh, no, no, it's got a little
No?
fat kid rapping. I
Oh.
hate it. He and M Night wrote the lines for the rapping moments, and it's
Uh,
really fucking cringy.
yeah, Matilda, you loved the little chubby kids, like the song and dance.
Holy, is it the same kid?
Is it? I have no idea, man.
I reckon it's the same kid.
Is it?
Holy shit! Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Do you reckon it is? Because that'd be pretty cool. Maybe
I'm
he
picturing him.
improved.
Ed Oxenbould. Ed Oxenbould
Yeah.
is in. Oh, previous. Oh, is he not there?
Ed Oxenball.
No, it's not him.
No, he
Just
was
looks
way
like
older,
him.
mate.
Yeah, he looks way older. He does now. Yeah, true. But it looks like him in the face.
Maybe it's Fred Oxenberg. Maybe it's his brother.
Uh, I'm looking it up now because I'm.
Curious.
Where is his name?
Oh, this kid was in Paper Planes.
Oh no, it's some person in in the Matilda musical. It's some kid without even a picture on IMDb.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm completely wrong. Anyway, not
Okay.
important.
Yeah.
Completely off topic. What was I even saying about this?
M.
Yeah,
Night missed massively
yeah,
with
it's
everything,
trash.
and they need to
Hmm.
start saying no to him.
Um, how the fuck do we see no violence in this entire film when five characters died? We saw nothing,
Yeah. Those little cutaways.
everything,
Hmm.
everything, and it's so shit. And I know censoring, blah blah blah, but I think it was R in America.
Yeah, but R in America is pretty.
It's our MA.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe it was the
MA stuff.
teens.
I mean, look at like um, what's the Terrifier? That's R.
Yeah.
Like
Terrified. Yeah, it's R in America.
yeah, this is 15 America. So this is like our M. Okay, well still, yeah, I don't know. Why? I just feel like I think we get classification, and I know it's a whole thing, and you know, you've got to make money, and more people can watch stuff that's M than what's MA. But why not prioritize the story and the impact rather than money and
Yep.
audience? I know this is my problem with Hollywood in general, but even M Night, like, I have a lot of problems with this. If you film, and this is the same thing I had before, if you're gonna show us a found footage, and if you're gonna show us, you know, there's the scene where we're watching the tidal wave. Don't film it on a fucking Studio Red camera. Don't like film it on a phone. Film it on something that actually makes sense. And also, that woman went underwater, and obviously died. Who filmed that? Whoever that fucking tidal wave, whatever. Was she live streaming? How did the news get this only minutes ago? Um, there's so many fucking little holes, and this is just so poorly written.
She put it on her
Um,
story. That's where they got it from.
while she was drowning or
Yep.
getting smashed
Yep.
in the face with tons and tons of water.
Yep.
Um, the kid actor sucked. I thought all the performances are pretty good, but the child actor was terrible. I know she's a child actor, but it's your job to make child actors not seem terrible. Um, yeah, I'm just sort of flicking through my list of frustrations.
Lots and rants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of the shots were really bizarre. Like he was trying to be really clever and artistic, but it just was odd. There's a shot where there's one of them where Dave Bautista raises his weapon, whatever it is, a bat, and the camera sort of stays parallel with the bat as it comes down, like it's, and they do that once, and it's like, why? It's so out of field.
I mean,
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna rant. We can move on, but it was really, I mean, some of M Night's stuff I would rather watch After Earth than this because that's at least entertaining. It's a bad film, and I would say probably worse than this, but at least it's not fucking boring the whole way through with nothing changing.
yeah,
This movie had nothing happen.
to agree.
I'm going to give it a 1.5 because I think the concept is cool. This would have been interesting if it was like Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet,
Okay.
where this could have been like a 30-minute story. We don't need to repeat the same shit over and over again. Maybe 40 minutes would have been perfect, and I would have understood, and I would be like, "Oh, that was interesting." But watch this is for an hour and a half. Luckily, it wasn't 2 hours. Was torture and boring as hell, and I'd struggle to stay awake.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
1.5.
Yeah.
You?
For me, this fell into a really interesting trailer, like Suicide
Mhm.
Squad. I was actually kind of excited to see this film. I would give the trailer a 3. So I recommend the trailer. So
Yep.
have a look at the trailer, and then you pretty
Yep.
much know what's going to happen. And then
You know the movie from the trailer, yeah.
and then the actual film is a 1. Like, they just executed so poorly, which is disappointing considering the star-studded lineup that it has. Like, it's got a
Yeah.
lot of big names, but
Yeah.
you go in there, you see M Night, and you're like, all right, what do you got for me this time, M Night? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, he is on his losing streak consistently. So yeah, give that one a miss.
One more point that I did raise earlier that I said I was going to finish, but didn't actually get there because I forgot. They set the rule of there needs to be 3 people. You three people decide who dies and kill them. The girl runs off, and one point Batista goes and gets her, and then brings her back. I'm like, okay, cool. She needs to be there to make the decision. But then she just runs off again, and then the 2 men make the decision. Don't set up a rule and then break your own rule. All the other rules mattered. Why that one didn't matter? Anyway, done movie.
No.
Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Well, you have been very excited for this one.
Yes.
So I thought I would give you the honors of
Oh, hell yeah.
talking us through this one, because I will not do a feelings episode here. Probably justice.
Yeah. So Shrinking. It is well, I'll start with the IMDb. A grieving therapist starts to tell his clients exactly what he thinks. Ignoring his training and ethics, he finds himself making huge changes to people's lives, including his own. So already you can tell it's like a heartwarming sort of story. That's the point. But it's Jason Segel, and I have been obviously a fan of his since How I Met Your Mother, like a lot of people were introduced to him. But since then, I've followed him through. I don't think I've watched everything of his, but I've watched a pretty big portion of his catalog. He's just fantastic. He can sell such a heartwarming and genuine character so well. I just feel like every time I watch him, I just know more about, or I feel like I know Jason better. Like, I think he puts so much of himself into his characters. In fact, one of the other main actors in this is Harrison Ford. And I watched an interview where he was saying the reason that Harrison Ford came into this project was because he loves what Jason Segel is doing and able to put on screen. And Jason Segel being one of the writers for this as well. So, yeah, that's obviously a pretty big selling point in my eyes. If Harrison Ford wants to be on Team Jason, then we all should. But yeah, I'll start by saying I fucking love this show. It reminded me of Scrubs. Super heartwarming, but super funny. Really good pacing, really fun characters. That's my umbrellas. Go for it, Ryman.
Okay. I have a different take, and
Okay.
that's because we do enjoy different shows.
Mhm.
So I really liked Jason Segel in it, so I do like his
Yep.
character. I think he is quite captivating and he's quite interesting just to see how he's dealing with the death of his wife and then the interactions that he has around it. I struggled to really like or be interested in his daughter. So the daughter
Okay.
Grace.
Yeah.
So we watched 3 episodes. I found her, was it Grace? No, Alice.
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 Mhm.
I struggled to sort of even really care about that dynamic. Like it was not really a
Yep.
focus throughout. But I do understand, like, obviously, he lost his wife, she lost her mother, and there would be a little bit of a sort of tension because he didn't deal or grieve. And was it
Yeah.
portrayed that he's kind of struggling still? He's sitting in the dark,
Definitely. Yeah. He
and
um
he
he isolated himself and didn't help her. Like she had to deal with it on her own because he dealt with it on his own. There's a
yeah.
bit of tension between them.
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of like a drama and stuff, but there are some really cool moments in it. I found
Hmm.
Harrison Ford's character hit and miss with these scenes. So
Okay.
I didn't there were times where I thought he portrayed a kind of quirky, funny, older sort of was he a psychiatrist as well? Is that
Yeah.
yeah.
Psychologists they are.
Yeah, yeah. So I found him either hit or miss. Like he was either a bit detached and like not sort of interested in what the set was happening in the scene, and other times it was like he was really involved and like don't tell your old man. Or I
Hmm.
found the interactions between Harrison Ford and Jimmy's and Jason Segel's character like a little bit awkward and a little bit odd.
Okay.
Like I'm not sure if that was
Interesting.
was intentional. But
No,
my
I didn't find that.
no, okay, I did. I just
Okay.
yeah, I found him a little bit odd in terms of his portrayal, but I don't know. That's just
Do you
my
think it's
perception of it.
do you think it's Harrison Ford? Do you think it's like the writing for the character?
I honestly don't know, but I think he's definitely more like open and well, I guess inviting to the daughter than he is to
Hmm.
Jimmy. So I'm not sure if it was like
Yeah,
Jimmy's
because he
kind of
does
like
keep Jimmy at like arm's length.
yeah.
Like I was surprised too that he has this relationship with Alice because he was saying to Jimmy or to Jason Segel's character, no one comes around my house. I'll keep my work life and my home life separate. And yet he catches up with one of his colleagues' daughters to talk about her feelings
Yeah.
and the family dynamic. Yeah, that did feel a little, and I'm still trying to figure out where he stands, but yeah, I
Yeah,
still see him as a bit of a father figure, and he has to keep his distance from Jimmy because Jimmy gets too attached.
mhm.
Um, whereas Alice needs the support. Jimmy, he's a smart psychologist. I think he understands how to help each person separately, maybe. Or
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
maybe I'm probably justifying too much.
I don't know.
Capping.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But I there was 2 character interactions that I really enjoyed, and this is my second favorite, which is with Liz, the next door neighbor.
Yeah,
So she's on
Krista Miller,
Scrubs,
mm-hmm.
and also she was
Cougar
on the
Town.
Drew Barrymore show.
Oh, the
Was that? I think that was
Santa
her.
Clarita Diet.
Yeah, the Drew Carey show. That's the one I
Oh,
wanted.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so I really like the Drew Carey show. I thought that was great.
Never
Like,
watched it. She's in Cougar Town. Cougar Town's
yeah,
pretty
Cougar Town
fantastic
was
with
good.
Courtney Cox. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
she's
And
great. She's so fun.
she plays the same character consistently,
Of
but she
course.
does it
Yeah.
so well.
Right. Exactly. I'm
Yeah,
okay with that.
yeah. Like she's funny. She's like
Hmm.
intimidating. I really
Yeah.
like the scene with her and was it I want to say Gabby, the other the one that's leaving her husband.
Oh yeah, yeah. The other psychiatrist.
Yeah,
I keep saying
the
psychiatrist,
was
psychologist.
just the lady. I want to say Gabby, but I
Yeah, it's
don't know if
Gabby.
that
Gabby.
it
Gabby.
is.
Gabby. It
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
where
Yeah, sorry.
she came over and was like, I wanted to bring you a basketball or something or other, and she's like, "Where is
Mhm.
the basketball? Don't clap at me."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I hate that interaction because Gabby, like, her character pisses me off. She's so hypocritical. She comes across at work this fucking high and mighty, I'm running my life perfectly sort of attitude. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's sort of that this story does talk about sort of how you perceive yourself versus how others perceive you.
yeah,
So she's sort of that character, but she pissed me off. Some of her actions, like that whole scene where she's getting in Liz's face, like it's not your fucking business.
no,
Like you're telling Liz to keep her business to herself, and you're coming in and come like that is good writing. That's intentional, but like shut the fuck up. You're
uh,
like Skylar White. Like she's written well. You meant to hate her, meant to be
yeah,
annoyed at her, but
yeah.
also fucking what are you doing?
And then my favorite interaction, and anytime they were on scene together, I really enjoyed the show when they were together. Where I found the episodes, some of it was slightly slow and a little bit draggy for me,
Mm-hmm.
but when
Mm-hmm.
these two were on, I was like, "Yep, I'm in." And that is his patient, Sean.
Sean, yeah,
Yeah,
the Jimmy
Sean.
Sean scenes.
Yeah, Jimmy and
Mm-hmm.
Sean scenes are fantastic. Like just how you get to see him all of a sudden change his, I guess, practice in terms of how he goes about dealing with his clients, and
Yeah.
it's kind of the catalyst to where he's going. And I love
Mm-hmm.
how he's like just get taking him to an MMA gym, and he's like, "This
Yeah.
is consensual assault."
Yeah, I love that line.
That was
Yeah.
such a good line, and just any
Yeah, you're
interaction
right,
with
because
those
that's really
two.
fun. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Yeah,
Keep going.
just any interaction with those two is really good, and you can see the bond that forms. Like when
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's watching his daughter play soccer, and the husband of one of his clients comes up and confronts
Yeah.
him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
that's what sets it off. And I really like I didn't when I first watched the trailer, and I even said in the thing last week that this was a father-son story. I really thought from because I didn't actually see the trailer, which probably would have made more sense talking about the why it's called shrinking. Um, I only saw this like interview trailer with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel talking about it, and I really thought it was a father-son story. So when I went into it, I sort of had this wrong misconception. Um, but yeah, it's there's some of the characters, like you said, the Sean Jimmy relationship and the way that it. I love seeing how he's influencing these other people's life and how much it brings him joy. Like the moments where Grace leaves her husband, just those like explosions of excitement, and then you see him like well, he called himself a psychological something or other. He like an anarchist, a psychological anarchist, something like that, where he's like, I'm not going to stick to the rules anymore. Does whatever he wants. Um, yeah, has made some really good moments.
yeah,
I think the writing's great.
yeah. You're probably going to disagree with this point, but each episode's 33 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's including it. I feel like about 25 minutes would have been a better experience for me. Like I found some of the scenes were a little bit drawn out, and which hindered some of the pacing for me. But I know
Okay.
you've mentioned that you quite like the pacing. I just don't like the drawn out sort of a character sitting in the dark with his feelings and someone else coming in. Like the whole moment where his daughter catches him just sitting in the dark in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just some of those
Okay.
scenes were a little bit drawn out, and I was like, probably could have done with a little bit
Yeah.
less of the
At the end
dramatic
of the
effect.
at the end of the third episode, I wrote, "I'm ready for the daughter story to progress." So I do agree to some degree, but I don't think it needs to be shorter. Like you said, I disagree.
Yeah, yeah.
um, I like those moments because we're meant to see that time is slow at times like this. Um, it's time shouldn't be going fast when we're grieving, I suppose. Uh, nah, I think it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. I knew you disagree, but
Hmm.
that's our different viewpoints on a lot of things.
definitely.
Yeah. So like I
Gotta
still
bring that.
enjoyed it. Still enjoyed it.
Mhm, mhm,
I think it's definitely worth people seeing. I
mhm.
think obviously if you're into more of the feel good happy stuff, you're gonna really enjoy it. But I think
Yeah.
there's a lot here for everyone. Like there's a good blend of comedy, there's a good blend of drama,
Mhm.
and there's even a little bit of action here and there, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice. Which
Yeah.
I don't know
You
how.
root for him.
Yeah, I don't know how much action there is going to be like moving forward, but
Yeah, of course.
I think there's definitely enough here that you're going to invest yourself in these characters,
Mhm.
which is good writing and good acting.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
which Apple TV are actually surprisingly doing quite well with their original stuff. Like Apple TV with Blackbird. If you have seen or haven't seen Blackbird, I highly
No.
recommend it. It's absolutely
Okay. Okay.
incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe you're
and
saying it's pretty damn good.
yeah, I loved it. It's got the guy from The Kingsman. I can't remember his name.
Eggsy
Yeah,
from the Kingsman.
yeah,
Sure. I can't remember his
yeah,
name either, but yeah.
yeah, and he does a fantastic job. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here about shrinking. So
Hmm.
I definitely think it's like a 3.5 to a 4. Like I'm in that
Yeah.
ballpark. I can't quite decide whether it's a 4 or a 3.5, but
Yeah,
it's
okay.
definitely in that range. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
go 3.75.
3.75. That's
Because
fair. Then I'll bring the average up to 4 with mine. I'll give it like a 4.25. So the average is a 4.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm loving this. I am really keen to watch more. There's only I think 4 or 5 out already. But I thought the characters were just so entertaining and so warming. I couldn't believe how proud I felt when Sean's character didn't beat up that guy on the street.
right. I
Um,
mean, when you really thought and
yeah,
like
you
the
really thought he was going to
cutaway, it
destroy
did
this dude. Yeah.
really well. Yeah,
And then he gets the phone call and you're like, oh fuck, he's in prison, like he's done. But no. And the scene where Brian, the best friend, gets them out of like jail, more or less, and well, not jail, but gets him out of like court. Like you just feel so much happiness for the characters. My favorite funny moment, I suppose, in the scene that I had to show Eb was oh no, Eb showed me on TikTok. Uh the scene where they're out on the front lawn and Sean's going through the rubbish trying to find that dead plant, and
oh, that's
some
right.
Pam, some neighbor comes across and she's like, "What are you doing in my garden, or whatever?" And then there's this argument on the lawn, and then Liz character comes across. Oh, sorry, Krista Miller's character comes in, Liz, and is arguing and whatever. Her husband comes up in the car and is like, "Hey,
That's
hey, how you going, Pam?" And she's like, "No, no, we don't like Pam." And he's like, "Oh, eat a dick, Pam."
that's
And then
such a
just
good
drives
scene.
away. That character, the husband, Liz's husband, he has some of the weirdest lines. He just as all these like he comes in, says some weird shit and walks out. Like it's real funny. And
Yeah,
that's what he needs to be. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Although
I'm really enjoying it.
Jason Segel has those characters, like even forgetting Sarah Marshall, like his best friend, he was that
Hmm.
like, egocentric kind of drop a rant here and then you don't see him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's his kind of humor as well.
Hmm. No, I'm
So
definitely loving it. I'm keen as for more. I think I'm probably gonna wait for the rest to come out and then just binge it because it's very much that sort of show.
yeah, there's only 10 episodes as well for season one, so
Hmm.
they're halfway now. So 5 episodes are out.
Sure, yeah, I thought so.
Fifth episode came out yesterday.
Yep, yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, highly recommend it. If you're into anything else that Jason Segel has done, even How I Met Your Mother, or if you're into like Scrubs or any sort of I would say sitcoms, but not it's not doesn't feel like a sitcom. It's more heartwarming than that. Um, but it's really well written and really funny, and the characters are fantastic. So I'd get around it.
Yeah, get around it. Next week we've got a little bit of a
Mm,
weird list for you, just due to
mhm.
whether we're going to be able to see it or not. But what we've got at the moment is extraordinary, extraordinary,
Extraordinary,
extraordinary,
extraordinary. No, extraordinary.
extraordinary. There we
Yeah.
go. We started well, but this is
You're good.
Yep. So that is on Disney. So that's on Disney
Mhm.
Plus. We have Red Rose, which is on Netflix, which is a series, and we have a Ghost, which is Netflix's newest ghost comedy. I think it's a comedy. I think I saw it on there.
Yeah, I think it must be like a family movie.
Yeah.
It's
So
David Harbour again as he's a ghost this time
mhm.
instead of Santa.
We don't like ghosts, but that's on Netflix. And depending if we can see it, we may replace two of the options with The Whale, which is Brendan Fraser's return to acting, which I'm sure everyone has heard about by now,
Hmm.
and Blood and Honey, which is the Winnie the Pooh lost his copyright and decided to make a horror film. So if we can get our
Hmm.
hands on those two, we'll watch those and we'll just introduce it at the start of the episode. So be prepared for any of those five. We don't know which one, but
Yep.
we like to keep you on the toes.
Hmm.
And like usual, if anyone knows anyone at Under Armour and wants to let them know that they
Yep.
can sponsor people in Australia, that'd be
Hmm.
fantastic. Let them know about it. And if you want to make your day better, worse, and tell your friends, tell everyone.
Tell all your
Yeah,
friends.
if you want to even tell your surgeon friends if they're doing surgery and
Yeah.
want to listen to a podcast while they're doing it,
Yeah.
Movie Talks is for them. But
Perfect.
yeah, perfect. Easy. We shall see you guys next week.
Awesome. Love yous.
Bye.